Happy July!
Hi!
It's Cooking with Claire.
And Dave.
And it's Tasty Tuesday.
Tasty Tuesday. Bucks playoff finals night tonight.
Oh, that's why you threw that on.
Right.
You should have warned me. I could have worn green.
That's okay.
Okay. So happy anniversary to our daughter Beth and her husband Justin.
Yep, 12 years ago, July 4th.
So there you go. So we're going to talk about these little things called cherries. Did you grow up with cherries?
Did I grow up with cherries?
Mm-hmm. Eating them?
Well, just not fresh from a tree or anything, but
I remember having lots of cherries. Did you guys grow up with cherries and eat lots of them? I remember my brothers loving cherries. And today we're going to make a couple recipes with them. But you know what I love the most is taking them and we chew them up. I won't do it at you, but you get it right in the front of your mouth and you see how far you could spit it.
the seed you're talking
The seed,
about. Yes.
the seed. And
Not the cherry.
if you swallow them, of course, you grow cherries inside of you. But that's what I remember.
Maybe that's why I was afraid to have cherries when I was little.
So we are going to be making some crepes, and these are actually called blintzes. And I've never made this part of it, but I grew up on crepes. Our family calls them crepes. And Betty Crocker is usually the recipe that I use. We're going to use a little different one tonight. But I remember my grandma that lived with us would always crack her egg and then put the egg in a bowl, and then she would measure the amount of milk from that egg, how much was going to go into the crepes. So she was...
Right in the shell?
She would measure it right in the shell.
Huh.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Interesting.
I like it with a little bit of vanilla and a little bit more flavor. So this is going to have a creamy filling and then cherries on top. It's going to be quite delicious. And then I'm going to show you a really cold treat that you can make with cherries.
Sounds cool.
What are you doing?
Well, I am not going to depart from the cherry theme, and I am going to make a cherry cobbler cocktail tonight.
Wow. So I hope you love cherries. If not, don't tune out. You can substitute other fruits for this. So I am getting this, my burner going, and I'm just going to use some of our cookware, and we're going to put some water in here. The sauce calls for 2/3 cup, and we're also going to put in there a 1/4 cup of sugar and some cornstarch. So I'm going to take this.
Powdered sugar?
No. Oh. So we have some cherries, and of course we rinsed them out. I measured out a pound, and it's kind of funny because I just pitted some of these. Do you want to show them a picture of the pitter?
A picture of the pitcher. It's the top one here, right?
Yeah. Can you give them a close-up? So it's 25 bucks, and I think I gave it to somebody. So I have to order another one, but I wanted you to see that. These were all done singly. This pitter, you can do 4 at a time. You can also pit out your olives 4 at a time. So it's a great tool, and I will have one back in my kitchen. I was a little scurried today as I was looking for that. I'm putting these in, so these are all pitted, in our close and cut, and I'm just going to cut across. And this is just going to cut them in half. And because we want to break these down, whoa, you are good, a little bit more. So just like so. You can put quite a few. Don't put it in the hinge. And we're going to close. And once again, we're going to cut. And you know this works great for brie cheese and for chicken, cherry tomatoes. And if anybody else have cherry tomatoes growing in their garden right now, pretty exciting. Okay, and so I'm just going to let this cook up a little bit for about 5 minutes. We're also going to be adding in here some sugar, and I have some cornstarch that we will add at the very end, so just a 1/4 cup. All right, so this is going to cook down for about 5 minutes. While that's happening, we are going to get our crepes going, and we mix them up in our mixer. Usually we do about 5 recipes at a time, when our family is home. That's how much we love crepes. So, but I'm gonna do them in the blender tonight. So we're gonna use some almond milk, and just because that's all we have, but that should be good. Never knew vanilla almond milk was so delicious. So a cup and a half of that. We're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter. Thank you very much. We're gonna put that in. And then we have half a teaspoon of salt and 2/3 cup of flour, and then 3 eggs. And like I said, I like to add just a little bit of vanilla. Can I put you in charge of
I
stirring
don't know, what am I
that?
going to do? Stir it?
Stir it a little bit. Okay, so we added some vanilla. We're going to put our top on, meaning our top on our blender, and I'm just going to get this going. Just want to mix it up. They say wait about 2 hours, but we're not waiting 2 hours tonight. So we're just mixing these up. Just want to get the lumps out, and we'll cancel that. This smells so good already. Alrighty, so we have our cherries, and they're starting to break down, and we're going to add some cornstarch, and that will just thicken this up. Now, Dave is using a metal spoon, which is okay because it is our newer cookware. We are also going to be using an 8-inch skillet. I do love our 8-inch and 10-inch skillet. This one is open stock. What I love about it is the handles do come off, so all of these have such easy storage and can stack. But these can go in the dishwasher, and you can use metal on them. And the trick is, when you are doing this, making these, you want to use a small amount. I was at one of our daughter's houses a week ago, and I made mine a little thick, and they were like, Grandma, those are a little thick. So just make sure that when you put this in, whoops, and I'll show you how, that you just put a small amount in at a time. So that is looking delicious. It's breaking down.
Use
And
this.
I'm sorry?
We can use this pat.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to show them what that looks like. That is called Speed TV. All right. So the next thing that we want to mix up is our filling. It calls for cottage cheese. Sometimes you open up your refrigerator and your cottage cheese just doesn't look quite right, but I did have some mascarpone. So we are going to add some of this to the cream cheese. Whoa! And it's going to be I softened both, and it's going to be super creamy. So I'm just putting this in. I'm doing a 8-ounce package of cream cheese, and I am doing about half a cup of the mascarpone. Okay, just like that. And we're going to add some sugar. Now, some recipes, it's a 1/4 cup. Some called for powdered sugar, and some called for granulated. So you do whatever you want. But if you go with the cottage cheese, which I was going to be brave, I wasn't sure that I was going to like it, but you would put that in the blender, and then you would break that down and then add the rest. And what it does is it's not so sweet as some of the other light cream cheese, but I think this is going to be a great mixture. We used to do a really delicious cherry cheesecake with crescent rolls. Let me know if you remember that recipe. I'd made that for so many parties. Christmas time, we'd make it in the shape of a candy cane, but so many delicious things in there, and that had a lot of cream cheese, an egg, and powdered sugar, and then we would put a can of cherry pie filling on top, and that was so good. And if you wanted to, I suppose you could do a can of cherry pie filling, but We're gonna go for the scratch here and it's gonna be delicious. Okay, so I put some butter in here and I'm just going to move that around. These are so non-stick. The first one, whenever I'm making these, usually has a little issue and then I get better and better, although I have to say this cookware is pretty good. So we want to do about a 1/4 cup, and I love our little baby easy read measuring cup, so I stay on track. So you want to put some in and then you just want to move it around and it will start cooking. Now crepes, we know, are in the Paris. We would get those and we would have bananas and Nutella on them. I'm trying to think what were some of the other flavors that we love. But just so many good flavors. And you can order them with whatever. But this is just a little bit different having the filling. So I'm gonna let this start cooking. And I am taking some cherries and I am going to put them in the manual food processor. And we're just going to chop these up. Oh, aren't we? Yes, we are. So we want to get those pretty chopped up very quickly. And we're going to make 2 different kinds of popsicles with these tonight. So we're going to watch this. This is starting to cook. And we'll just let this for just a little bit longer and then we'll flip it. All right, so with this, we're going to take some vanilla Greek yogurt and we're going to add just a little bit of honey. You could add honey, you could add the agave, you could add maple syrup, whatever you'd like to put in there. You just want to put just a little bit in, about 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to mix that in. And then I'm going to take some of our cherries and we're going to toss them in. So I'm not going for making a ton here. You see this? Let me just give this a flip. Spread it out. There's a crepe. Or creepy. All right.
Or roll a pancake.
Or roll a pancake. And you know it's all in rolling it up that is the trick. All right. So with the rest of this, we are going to take some lemonade. And I'm just going to use this container and I'll show you why. We're just going to be making 1 popsicle. So I'm going to take a little bit of lemonade. Oops. And I'm going to take some of the cherries. And once again, we're going to add just a little bit of honey. Actually, this probably was enough for 2. Okay, we'll add just a little bit of honey into this one. And we're going to give this one a stir also. So let's check our... You see how nice these are? And so I'm going to flip this onto a plate. I'm going to switch it over to Dave in just a bit. Okay, let me put 1 more in here. So we have 2. And I'll show you. I can actually do a little bit less. Can you see how I'm just twisting this around? We don't want to have any holes. Here we go. All right, so out of the freezer, I have our quick sickle machine. I do. So what we want to do is we want to put our sticks inside Can you watch this? I think I have it up a little high and it's gonna cook really fast. All right, so we want to take our yogurt and we're going to make one of our popsicles with the yogurt. And because it has the sugar in there, it should have an easy release. Otherwise, tonight will be blooper night. And then for our other one, we are going to do this. This is one of our grandkids, one of their favorite things when they come, because it's so fun just to take chocolate milk, green milk, pink milk, any of that, and put them in here, and within 8 to 10 minutes, you have popsicles. So each one has their own, they can build their own, they can put their own fruits in, their own juices that they love. And okay, isn't Dave awesome? Okay, you can see how that moves. Ready?
Gonna keep making them?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, I will make my my dessert, my cobbler cocktail. Cherry cobbler cocktail. It's pretty much all alcohol. If you enjoy alcohol, you're gonna like this drink. I don't think Claire's gonna like this one too much, but she'll be fine. She can have a sip of mine. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 pitted black cherries. I'm gonna put them in my shaker. And I'm gonna muddle them. I'm gonna just kind of break them up a little bit, get the juices flowing in the bottom of my shaker. And then I'm going to fill this with ice. I'll be right back.
So I'm just going around the edge, and then I'm just going to go under and flip.
Okay. There are 5 main ingredients to this particular drink. We are going to add, first of all, bourbon. One of my favorite cocktails is bourbon, just bourbon, plain bourbon with ice in a glass. But this is Jim Beam Red Stag. And what makes it special is that it's a black cherry flavored bourbon. So we're going to use that tonight in our little drink. 1.5 ounces of black cherry bourbon in here. To that, we are going to add a 1/2 ounce of amaretto. A little more. This is going to be a very fruity drink, not in a weird sense, but it's just going to have a lot of good tastes to it. Because to that, we've got amaretto, we've got black cherry bourbon. Now we're going to add 1/2 ounce of coconut rum. I guess it's a 1/4 ounce. That's okay. And then we are going to also add 1 ounce of pineapple juice. And then finally, to top it all off, we're going to add a splash of cinnamon schnapps. Sounds kind of tasty, doesn't it, Claire?
It does.
That's kind of a splash. We'll splash a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to particularly care for this one, but okay, now we're going to shake. Okay, now we're going to put this into a chilled martini glass, and I took the liberty of pre-doing this so that I could get it nice and chilly, because with this particular combination, a chilled glass really adds to the taste of the drink. And what I did is I finely ground up a graham cracker, okay? And then I poured a little bit of amaretto onto a plate, and I rimmed my glass with a very fine coat of graham cracker crumbs. Hence the cobbler part, right? How's that working over there, Claire?
Good.
Looks kind of good. All right, so now I'm going to strain my drink. Cherry cobbler. So So you've got a little bit of the black cherry fruit residue in there and all the various flavors. And then we can garnish that with some cherries, and you have a cherry cobbler drink. What are you doing? Cherry cobbler cocktail. Give it a try. It's going to be very refreshing.
Alrighty, so we have some done, and I want to show you how to put these together. Alrighty, so you want to take some of your mixture. We're going to add a little vanilla in here too. I just love vanilla. Or if you want to, you could take some almond flavoring, which would be absolutely delicious in here. And that, we'll add some of that. Do we ever follow a recipe the way we should?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
What's the fun in that?
So that would even really taste good, just adding it to the topping. So we're gonna take this, fill the middle. I'm gonna spread this around because I'm gonna show you how to correctly roll up a pancake, a crepe,
Creepy.
or a creepy. And ask any of our kids, any of our grandkids, they know exactly what to do. Okay, so we got this spread out. And then you want to take your fork and you're going to hook it onto the side. Let's do this one. This one looks so pretty. Okay, and you're just going to pierce it and roll it. Now, if you want to do this ahead of time, you can, and then you can put this into an oven and just let the cheese melt, and just with a little bit of butter, and that's going to just add so much dimension to this. And then all you're going to do is put some of your sauce over the top, like so. Now, of course, we can't just end there, because that's not what we do. So we are going to add just a little bit of whipped cream and put that on there too. And add just one more flavor. So I have some powdered sugar in here. Let's put almond in this one too. And then we are just going to make some whipped cream, just a little bit, in no time. So I can't wait to try that drink. And then we are going to put these together. We'll take you some pictures for you with the, you can probably see in the camera, the Quick-Sickle. Do that just a little bit more. And I don't know if these are quite ready. I feel like tonight's going to be blooper night. So say a little prayer. I don't know if it's hard enough, but you put these on and you'll feel a little movement. And then you will take your popsicle, and voila, you have a popsicle in about 8 minutes. You can go ahead and make another batch, and then you want to put it back in the freezer to get this going for, like I do it overnight. I put it in last night, and like I said, this is a hit all the time. We love doing these. Woo. And there's our yogurt one. Oh, this is awesome. So we will get this all put together, take some pictures. So we have a cherry yogurt popsicle, a cherry lemonade. I'm sure if you wanted to add something special in there, you could. It might take a little longer to set up though with the alcohol. And then we have our blintzes. And here they are with our crepes, with our cheese filling and then our cherry sauce, and then we'll add the whipped cream on the top. So thanks for joining us.
Yes.
In 2 weeks, we might even come from a campground with our
Oh,
little
yeah,
show.
that's right.
So that we'll have to think of something to make out there, and hopefully the internet will be strong enough. But,
Yeah.
all right, so thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to all of you who keep tuning in and letting us know that you love some of the things that we're sharing with you.
So have a great week.
And Dave is a great sport, but I think he
Huh?
kind of likes this. People are saying, Dave is such a great sport.
Oh, yeah.
I think he likes it. He loves it. Brings back his bartender days.
Oh, yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.